Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Craig Scott from FightTalk.net. If you haven't checked out the new site, check it out. Pleasure to be joined today all the way from Los Angeles. Glenn Holmes, the boxing trainer and fitness director at Boxing Burn in LA. Glenn, how you doing, mate?
I'm good, mate. Thanks for having me on.
No, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. I've had an eye on your stuff for a while now. Recently, I've been following you on Twitter for a bit, and I know you're doing your podcast, your training, your personal fitness stuff. Now you're originally from Blackburn, is that right?
Yeah. Born and raised in Blackburn, and then I moved out to LA I started coming here around 2000, but I've lived here since 2005, so 12 years now.
Nice. How did that happen? What was the change from Blackburn to LA? How did that come about?
Well, just me and my buddy over there, we just grew up into music and stuff, and I don't know, just all my mates went off to university, and I didn't really feel like I wanted to do that. So me and my best mate, and we just came out to LA to just come and check it out on holiday. And then as soon as I got here, the first couple of days, I was like, wow, I've got to live here. So I just kept coming back, and then met a bunch of people, and I'd go home, save up, come back, go home, save up, come back, and eventually set
nice
the lifestyle, the way of life. I was like, I have to get here.
So that was you were kind of going back and forth between LA when you were younger. How did you get into boxing, mate? Did you get into the personal training first, or was boxing always a love for you?
No, originally I was just I was trying to get into it was total career switch. I was trying to get into the music industry at first, and I just ended up working like an office job for a couple of years, and I was boxing when I first got here. But that was just because it's something I liked to do. I didn't really think it was going to be a career or a job. So when I switched from office, then I had some time on my hands. I quit my job because I was just not enjoying my lifestyle. So I quit my job, and then I had nothing really to do for all day. So I just ended up living like a boxer and an athlete. And just most people kind of, if they lose their job or they quit their job, they'll sit on their ass and do nothing. But I went the opposite way and just started running and training, and started training towards fighting and stuff. And then once I met Tony Jeffries, I don't know if you know Tony, the owner of Boxing Burn, but once I met him, then he kind of transitioned me over to a trainer and started helping him out with his group classes and stuff. And then at that point, I thought, right, okay, then the training side of it was like tailor-made for me. I was like, a light bulb went off, and I was like, right, this is what I was meant to do. So yeah, it's like my dream job now.
Brilliant. Yeah, obviously I know Tony from when he was in the Olympics. He was a bronze medalist, I believe, in the Olympics 2008.
Yeah, Beijing 08, yeah.
Yeah, unbeaten as a pro, and then he unfortunately had to retire. I think he had some issues with his hands, if I'm not wrong. And I remember hearing Tony went over there, and I think he opened up the first Boxing Burn as a partnership with Mickey Rourke. Is that right?
It was going to be originally. We started doing just group classes down in Santa Monica, and then originally they were Kevin and Tony, the two owners of Boxing Burn, were going to partner with Mickey Rourke. He was going to invest into the gym. Yeah. So it was always going to be run by Tony and Kevin. But Mickey Rourke, once we got the building, Mickey changed his demands and wanted a high percent or whatever, and it wasn't going to work out. So they ended up parting ways. Tony and Kevin decided to do it on their own, which, looking back in hindsight, was probably the best thing that could have happened, really.
Yeah, definitely. And did you link up with Tony over here? Because I know he's a Sunderland guy. Did you link up with him in the UK, or was that an LA thing?
We first started getting in touch when he was still fighting over there, but he was doing his training camp out here because he changed his trainer to Tommy Brooks, and he was training down in Torrance, which was about 5 minutes from where I lived out here. Yeah. So we were in touch back and forth a little bit while he was still fighting, and then once he retired, I started he kind of settled out here for a little bit, and I started doing boxing sessions with him. He was training me, so that's how we kind of met.
Nice. I know a lot of people have a lot of good things to say about Tony, and I know the reputation of the gym over there is building, week on week. I see people training there. We'll touch on that a little bit later on. I know you guys had a special athlete training with you not too long ago in one of your facilities, but we'll touch on that a little bit later. you were working in an office, trying to get into the music industry. Now you are a boxing trainer, fitness coach, successful podcaster with the Boxing Life podcast as well. How difficult is it for you splitting your time accordingly between all those, or is that something that comes naturally for you?
It is difficult. It's definitely a really demanding schedule. I don't really have any days off. I'm just constantly working. Sometimes it feels like there's not enough hours in the day, you know what I mean? But it is natural at the same time. I just kind of get on with it. As long as you're organised and you're planned and you're on top of your schedule, it's manageable, but it's a lot of work. Yeah, it's pretty much non-stop all day, every day.
It's hard, isn't it? Because what I do my day job is I'm a bank manager, which is a lot less exciting than what you do. But I feel like in my spare time when I finish that and I come home, I'm trying to set up interviews and I'm trying to write articles and I'm trying to do bits and pieces. It's just non-stop, isn't it? Yeah.
That's what you've got to do. I mean, if you want to do something that you love and as a career, then you've got to put that time in. And the more time you spend doing what you enjoy, that's how you're gonna get there. Exactly,
and I think it makes it a bit easier, like you've touched on there. When it's something that you love to do, you find the time, don't you? You make the time.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm non-stop every day, but it's not like I'm doing anything that I hate. You know what I mean? It's like everything I'm doing, it's all exciting stuff. So I'm happy to just get on with it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful position you're in there, mate. Let's talk about current boxing scene. We had Golovkin last night. Did you watch that, mate?
I've just seen highlights, so I've seen probably about 20 minutes of the fight. I was actually down in Orange County last night with some friends at a music festival, so
nice.
It's kind of sacrilege for me because I never missed the boxing, but last night was a one-off, an opportunity I passed up. But I managed to catch up on the fight, definitely. Yeah. But from what I've seen, it seemed like Golovkin was made to really work for the first time in his career, and I think from what I saw, the second half of the fight, I think Jacobs probably took the second half, so it was a really close fight from what I saw.
Yeah, I think the first couple of rounds you could go either way. There wasn't really a lot of action, and then I thought Jacobs, towards the middle and the end of the fight, like you said, spot on. I thought Jacobs was outboxing him a little bit, and he wasn't scared to stand toe to toe. What do you make of Golovkin? Like, where does he stand for you now in the pound for pound rankings?
He's right up there. Obviously, I think I'd put him in top three. I think, but the thing is with him, I'm still not 100% convinced on who he's fought. I think he's fought solid opposition, but once he's stepping up now, he's been forced to step up. He's been really managed and guided really well. Now he's fighting, Kell Brook, who's a class operator, but he was just too small. And then now he's fighting someone who's a class operator, Danny Jacobs. Not a lot of people know about him. His profile's not huge, but he's an amazing fighter, world level. So much skill, southpaw, and Golovkin, as we saw last night, is being made to work now. So it's going to be really interesting in his next 2 or 3 fights when he really steps up to that elite level. We'll get to see whether he is what everybody thinks he is at this point.
Yeah, I heard a stat last night that since he won his first world title, which was 2010, I think, there's been in that division across all of the governing bodies, there's been 22 other world champions at the same time, like between now and then. Guess how many he's fought, Glenn, of the 22?
Go on.
2, mate. He's fought 2 of them.
Wow.
So
I had no idea about that. That's a crazy statistic. That's
mad.
Insane. But like I said, when people like Daniel Gable, and no disrespect to these guys, they're all amazing fighters. You know what I mean? But when we're talking about how much people put Golovkin on a pedestal, he's fighting people who are touching on or bordering on world level, Martin Murray and Daniel Gale and Gabe Rosado, and people like that. They're not people who've dominated or won world titles and retained them. You know what I mean? So I think the Canelo fight's probably the best fight out there next, and I'd love to see it. I think it's a 50-50 fight, and I think you asked me 2 years ago, I would have said Golovkin would beat him, but I think now I think all the confidence and momentum with Canelo, and he's looking sharper and stronger, and I think after last night I'd pick Canelo in that fight now.
Totally agree. Yeah, I couldn't agree more, mate. Which I hope that happens. It's a shame sometimes when he's, what it's like. Yeah, you know what it's like yourself.
I think it'll happen. Yeah, I think because I know Tom Loeffler, Lofkin's manager, and he's a good guy and he's a smart guy, and he's not the kind of person to duck fights, but he's because I'm not saying Golovkin's ducking anybody or that they've avoided anybody, but he's managed his career really smartly and got to this point. But there's only so far you can do that to where it's like, okay, it's crunch time. You've got to face the best now. And I think maybe one more, and then the Canelo fight will happen. But just on the technical side, I used to favour Golovkin in that fight purely on footwork. I think he was like, his footwork was so much better than Canelo, and he just moved a lot better. But in the last couple of fights, I think we've seen with Kell Brook and Danny Jacobs, if you stand in front of Golovkin, just in the pocket, and you let your shots go, that's when he has trouble. And you can land on him, and you can land 3s and 4s on him. And someone big and powerful like Canelo will stand there and let punches go in combinations with him. And I think that's what's going to win the fight. I think if you try and move and out footwork him and outbox him, he'll cut the ring down. And as soon as he touches you, takes your confidence away. And then that's how he wins fights. But I think someone who stands there with him and will have it out with him, who could take his shots, and I think Canelo will be able to take his shots and let punches come back. I think that would be the way to be.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's one of the things that he's kind of underrated is the footwork that you touched on, and I think because he doesn't have flashy footwork, does he? But the way he cuts the ring off, he takes a couple of steps and he's back you in a corner. He's got you in the ropes, and I think
ridiculous.
It's so underappreciated. I think the way he does it, But yeah, interesting fight last night. We have obviously over here. I know you're an English gentleman yourself. We've got Anthony Joshua Klitschko coming up end of April. Which for me, that's a fight about timing. Is it too early for Joshua? Is it too late for Klitschko? What's your views on that fight?
Again, I think it's a really interesting fight. I just don't know how much Klitschko's got left against Fury. He looked shot, but I think that was partly because of how good Fury was more than how bad Klitschko was. But I think it could be. Let me think. I think the most likely scenario is that Joshua wins the fight, but I don't think he's going to knock him out. I think it'll be a 12-round decision. I think it'll be Joshua landing the cleaner, harder shots over 12 rounds and winning a decision. But absolutely great fight, and I think real test for Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, that should be a good one. I've managed to snag some tickets to that, so
oh, nice.
Yeah, we're not.
Yeah, I just think he's too athletic, too sharp, too big and powerful, and I think he'll just have a little bit too much energy and speed and athleticism for Klitschko.
Yeah. I think Klitschko could be dragged into unloading crazy shots because of how quiet and how non-active he was in the Fury fight. I think he's a seasoned world champion. Hopefully he comes in with a cool head, and I think it'll be an interesting fight either way. Let's get back to you, mate. So LA, you're based in LA now. Boxing in LA, how's the scene over there? Is it booming? Are people shifting towards mixed martial arts? How is it boxing wise?
It's booming. Like as far as boxing for fitness, it's absolutely booming. We started the gym 5 years ago, and it was always popular at the beginning, but like the last couple of years, it's just exploded, and there's been a couple of other boxing gyms popping up doing similar type stuff in the area as well. So it's absolutely booming. People love it. All the group classes are packed with wait lists. We got world champions coming in and using the facility, and it's exploding. Yeah, it's super popular.
Who have you got coming in? What sort of champions have you got swinging by the gym?
We had Liam Smith was in January, February. Come out done like a couple of months out there. We came out with Scott Quigg. The Gallagher's gym lads usually come out and use the gym when they're out here, and then they do the sparring at the wild card. We have Mick Conlon, who just fought on Friday on St. Patrick's Day on the Golf.
Yeah.
Bill. My friend Stephen's been doing his strength and conditioning work, so we've got Mick Conlon in, and then Conor McGregor was in a couple of months ago as well, which was pretty surreal. But he came in about a year ago to the Santa Monica gym, and he was back and forth. And then this time he came back, he was in the Brentwood gym.
Yeah, let's listen. We've mentioned his name now. Let's just dive in. Conor McGregor. Wait, am I right in saying he was sparring Chris Van Heerden at one of your places?
That was about a year ago. Yeah, he sparred with Chris Van Heerden. Chris is always in our gym. He's like our boy, and Conor sparred him a couple of times, I think.
What was the obviously everywhere Conor McGregor goes, there seems to be a circus type atmosphere now. What was it like in the gym? Was it still pretty chilled in the gym, or were people freaking out that he was there?
So the thing why he liked coming to our gym is we kind of leave him alone. He has like a bit of an entourage with him. We're used to having celebrities in the gym. I mean, we're in LA, so we have actors and musicians coming in a lot. So we're kind of known for leaving them alone and letting them have their privacy and not people having come up to them and hounding them. So we're always aware when Conor's coming in. So we always have to tell everybody, look, he's coming in. Don't ask for pictures. Don't go up to him. Respects that, I think. And so it's a pretty chilled out vibe when he's there. People just kind of let him get on with his work and leave him alone.
That's good. And I think obviously with his day to day, he probably appreciates that, because it just seems like he gets hounded.
Exactly.
Wherever he goes. How does he look in the gym, Glenn? Have you watched him? Obviously, you watched him sparring Van Heerden, who's been fighting at a good level for a while now. How does he look for you? You see a lot of boxers, and you take a lot of classes on boxing, and you're a boxing trainer. How does he look?
Oh, he's really talented. I was surprised by how good of a boxer he is. But the thing is, it's about levels, and if you want to bring Mayweather into the equation, I'd say nowhere near, because Chris handled him pretty well, pretty easily, and I'd say got the better in the spar. But that's a year ago. I don't know what he's done since then. And I think the only interesting thing is he's got a style and a skill in other areas other than boxing. So he'll bring a style to Mayweather that Mayweather's never seen, which is the what's the word I'm looking for? The interesting side of it. It's something that Mayweather will never have seen before. But I think I used to say it's not even a conversation. I can't see him getting past like 2-3 rounds. But the more I think about it, he's going to bring something unpredictable and weird and out there that Mayweather might freak Mayweather out a little bit. So that might be a bit of a factor. Yeah,
I think the interesting thing for me is obviously Mayweather outboxes him and does whatever he wants in the boxing ring for me, and I'm a big McGregor fan. I think Mayweather schools him. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if he stops him early though, or if he stops him in the middle rounds, because McGregor's been getting used to getting cracked off these guys, getting hit with legs and elbows and all this sort of stuff. So I don't know, with big gloves on, or bigger gloves on, I don't know how long it would go, but it would definitely...
But I think they're going to fight at like probably 147, maybe 154 if they fight, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to be 8 or 10 ounce gloves. Those 8 or 10 ounce fight gloves, there's not much difference with us compared to them. I mean,
yeah.
With the UFC, it's like you're not taking as many punches. You're taking like hard shots, but with those little gloves on. But with boxing, it's over 12 rounds. You're taking way more shots, and an 8 ounce, 10 ounce fight gloves, it's not a huge difference really, and
True.
It's more of accumulation of punches. So I think he will probably be able to take Mayweather's power, but I think over a few rounds it's just going to be way too much, and I think it'll be the first time Mayweather has that confidence to really let combinations go like he did in his earlier days, instead of I think he'll pot shot him earlier on with single shots and move, and then once he gets his time, his rhythm down and his confidence, and Conor will tire, then I think he'll just go to town on him.
Well, definitely.
I don't want to talk too much shit.
No.
I don't know. I'm like a huge Mayweather fan, but we've had Conor in the gym and stuff, and friends of ours know him or whatever, so it's kind of a mix now. No, obviously it's kind of conflicted for you, and obviously no negativity there. It's a different game, isn't it? I think it's fair of you to say that, because it's a totally different sport, and I think it'll be interesting, and it'll be good.
And I think the fact that people were talking about it and people were interested in it speaks highly enough of McGregor as an athlete and a combat sports professional. You know, the fact that...
Yeah, he's a super talented dude. He's an unbelievable athlete, you know, amazing fighter. But like you said, it's a totally different sport. But what I love about him is he just doesn't give a shit. He's like, I'm boxing, I'm going to go and fuck Mayweather up. He's like, that, first off, he's mentally spot on.
He is.
And that's what I don't think anybody since probably Ricky Hatton has had that kind of mentality towards Mayweather.
Yeah.
But as soon as they get on the scales with him, you can see, it's like the same thing with Golovkin. They beat before they get in there.
Yeah.
They come face to face. And the good thing about Conor is he just does not give a shit. Like that will not faze him one bit. So he has no respect for him.
Did you see him?
In terms of that, so.
Did you see him getting in Dan Raphael's face at the Conlon fight, going on a bit of a rant?
No, I haven't seen that. I'm dying to see that.
Oh, brilliant, man! Brilliant.
Yeah,
I
saw him. He was. He had a little bit of a run-in with Kovalev as well. I saw that. I don't know what was going on there.
I seen that picture. Yeah, Kovalev's kind of pointing at him in the picture, but I've not seen any video clips of that. Oh yeah, check out the Raphael thing. He just gets in Dan Raphael's face, and it's all the stuff you just said. All that I am boxing. Just watch. I'm telling you now. Blah blah blah. All that sort of stuff. I love that, man. I love that. Shall lap that stuff up, man. I'll watch that all day.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's great for the sport. It creates that buzz. It's amazing.
Now, you done a bit of training, or you were training Brendan Schaub, is that right, for a while? You and Tony?
I train Brendan probably 2 or 3 times a week, yeah.
Still do?
Yeah, still train him, yeah. He's in the gym every week, killing it. He's probably in better shape now than he was when he was fighting. I
actually thought that, because I'm a big fan of Brendan, and I watch the Fighter and the Kid all the time, and I used to like him when he fought as well, but I seen him doing pads with you recently, and he looks sharp, man. He looks really sharp.
Yeah, he is. His hand speed's crazy. I think he's faster than what he was when he was fighting too. Because I've said this to a couple of people. He enjoys training a lot more now than he did when he was doing it for a living. When he was doing it for a living, it was, it was 8 to 10 week training camp, grind, and it's miserable. It's your job. It's got to be done.
Yeah.
Whereas now he's just doing it because he just loves doing it, and he's in there 2-3 times a week consistently. So he's on it. He's flying.
And do you think is he got itchy knuckles for a comeback, or is he no?
No, definitely not. No. He's smashing it with his podcast, and he just broke off and done his own podcast, the Big Brown Breakdown.
I've seen that,
which I think it just grossed like number 2 on iTunes of all audio podcasts. So he's killing it with that. And then the Fighter and the Kid are going out and doing the live stuff and selling out shows all over the country. I think they're coming over there. I think end of the year. I'm not sure. Maybe they're doing a London show.
Oh, sweet.
But, so he's making enough money doing that to ever want to wish to go back to fighting.
That's good. I like Schaub, and I find myself saying some of the stuff that he says. He's got a couple of phrases now, and I find myself saying them all the time. I'll be mid conversation, and I'm just pulling a fucking Schaub out. But. Yeah, really good. Gets a lot of shit online, Brendan Schaub, from a lot of these forums with these idiots behind keyboards who don't like him for some reason. But I think he's a cracking guy.
He's a super nice guy. He's really down to earth. He couldn't do enough for you. He's a great lad. And anyone that gives him stick, just to be honest, doesn't have a clue what they're talking about.
Yeah, you get that. That's the problem with these social media things, isn't it? People just get let loose in some fucking dark cave of a room that they've been living in. They're allowed to just talk rubbish about people. But no, he seems like a great guy. He's doing stand up as well now, right?
Yeah, he does like stand ups up in Hollywood on the Sunset Strip. There's a bunch of comedy stores.
Yeah.
And he's up there like every few weeks doing like stand up stuff. The thing is with that is he's a naturally funny guy, so he'll just come in the gym, and as soon as he starts talking, he's just telling me something hilarious, so I'm like laughing within like 2 minutes of seeing him.
Yeah.
And that's just his personality. He's just a funny lad. So when he does his stand-up stuff, he just gets up in there and just he's himself, just telling stories, and it's really funny.
Yeah. Now, I want to read this to you here. This is taken directly from your podcast page on Twitter. Glenn Holmes. California's highest paid personal trainer, aka Mr. Six Figures. Explain.
You can blame Tony Jeffries for that one.
Explain.
So because Tony's obsessed with the fact that I have a six-figure income, so he's like, we've got to build that up. He's like, there's no personal trainers who make that much money, and I'm like, there probably is. There's probably a few. He's like, no, I'm telling you, they don't. And I'm like, all right. So he kind of ran with it and started doing the hashtag and all that silly stuff.
Brilliant. How did the podcast come about, Glenn, and how did you get involved in it, mate?
Tony started it, I think, a year and a half, 2 years ago. He just started doing a few episodes by himself, and then he wanted to bring me in just as like to have an extra voice on there, and started helping out. And then we got a couple of guests on. We've had like Paul Smith and Tony Bellew and a couple of actors, and then now we've just hired a couple of producers for it, and we started doing it consistently. We're doing an episode every week now, and we're doing it as a YouTube video as well. And then we've had more higher profile guests coming on, which has been really good for it. So it's picking up, but we're doing it as more of an extension of it's like the gym's podcast now. So we've got, when you come in the gym, the podcast will be playing on the TVs in the gym, and it's kind of the gym's podcast more than mine and Tony's, which is what it was when it first started. So it's picking up now. It's going well. That's
great. We'll stick some links up for that, because it's good. I've watched a couple of your episodes, and they're fantastic. No, it's good, man. It's brilliant, and that's the kind of stuff. I think that's the kind of stuff that you need. You know, you need to have these things, and podcasts right now are the way. We mentioned it already. The Fighter and the Kid, the Big Brown Breakdown. We do a podcast, the Fight Talk podcast. We get guests on, you know, and it keeps the sport living and breathing. I think, especially, you know, gyms, boxing, MMA, whatever it is, it keeps it living and breathing for people who are travelling to work or listening to something at home. You know, it's great stuff.
Definitely, it gives people a chance to get their opinions out, give themselves a platform to do something that they love talking about. And half of the time I'm listening to like people who are just fans of sports or fans of whatever you're listening to a podcast about, and it's more entertaining, it's more valid and valuable than half of the people that are on the networks who are paid to do this as journalists.
Absolutely.
Half of the time. You mentioned Dan Raphael before. I'd miles rather listen to you talk about boxing than him.
Yeah, he doesn't. I read him last night on Twitter. I had to even comment on it. It was a joke. He scored that Roman Gonzalez fight, which was super close. I had it 1 round for the winner. He scored it. He scored it to Gonzalez by 8 rounds. I was like, what are you watching? But anyway, that's Dan Raphael. We won't give him any more airtime. Boxing fitness. Sorry, I was going to
mention about just like one last thing on the podcast is because there's not a lot of great boxing podcasts out there, so I'm loving that you've got this up and running as well, because there's a real shortage of good boxing podcasts where people are digging in and talking about what's going on in the fight game.
Yeah, thank you, mate. I appreciate that. And we'd love to get you on sometime for the bi-weekly podcast if you can spare the time. You know, it'd be great to get you on and discuss what's going on in the UK. Definitely. Boxing fitness, mate. I know you're big on your boxing fitness. Obviously, you do your personal training and stuff. You said it's taken off in LA. Why is that? Is boxing fashionable there? Is that something that's new, or has that been going on since you moved there?
It's pretty new. I'd like to think that we were partly responsible for making it fashionable and popular in our community in LA. And I think we've been fortunate that we've had high-profile people come in and help promote us and support us, and like some of the people that I train have like really bigged it up and said how much they love it. So that's helped. I think it is fashionable, but at the same time, it's fashionable for a good reason. It's not just a fad. It's fashionable and popular because I think it's the best workout, and people really feel how hard it is to do, and they have a real appreciation for it. So I think that's what makes it popular, and what makes people come back. They get addicted to it really quick because it's really difficult, and a lot of other fitness classes and gyms out there don't give them that high intensity push whilst learning a skill at the same time. You can do CrossFit, you can do boot camp classes or whatever, but really you're not you're not really learning a new skill when you're doing that. You're learning to throw some weight around and jump a few times or whatever. But with boxing, you're constantly developing a skill in a sport, so it's really popular, I think, for that reason as well.
Definitely. What's your approach to training? If you're teaching a class, is it mixed levels? Do you break it down to different levels of expertise, or how do you go about it, mate?
No, our group classes at the gym are for everyone. So we have people who've never put on a pair of gloves in their life, right through to someone who's had some fights could do a class. That's probably another element. What makes it popular as well is you have anyone and everyone in every class, and it works for anyone. So we've developed a good system over the last 3-4 years, and really narrowed it down and perfected it to a science where anyone can come and take these classes and get out what they put in.
And am I right in saying that you guys have a certification now, the Box and Burn certification, so people can come over, take those classes, take the course? How is that structured?
Yeah, so that's the Box and Burn Academy. We started that about a year and a half ago, and then this year we've really stepped it up with that. It's a boxing and fitness certification course, so it's aimed at personal trainers or just fitness enthusiasts in general, really. And we kind of give you a system to then go and teach boxing to other people. So we'll take you over all the basics, and then we show you how to hold the mitts correctly, and what makes a good trainer, how to push people, all that kind of stuff. So it's basically like, here's how you teach boxing and fitness. And the whole concept of it is you don't need to have been a fighter or a boxer or really followed the sport for years to be able to teach somebody this as a fitness method. You just have to understand the concept of it, take the system where you throw at you, and then go and practice it and perfect it.
And you have guys there who have been ex-footballers, ex-jiu-jitsu competitors. You've got a real variation of people there who are now Box and Burn certified and teaching classes. I've seen that on you.
Yeah, with the courses itself, it's a 1-day course, and then we have a level 1 and a level 2, and we have people from all over the world coming to the gym, registering for the course, taking the course, and then going off back to their gyms wherever they came from, and then putting group classes on or teaching their clients boxing. So if you're a personal trainer and you're doing standard personal training stuff, then I'd really recommend throwing boxing in there. And then if you come and do the Box and Burn Academy, that's going to give you that tool to throw into your training sessions. It's great. People have loved it as well. And then this year we're going to be launching it as an online exam or an online school, so anyone in the world can sign up and take the course online and get certified online as well. That's
brilliant, mate. It sounds like it's very inclusive, and the fact you've got people coming from all over the world speaks for itself, doesn't it? You know, people are willing to do that, and obviously
it's mad. The last level 1 course we did at our Santa Monica gym in December, we had, I think, around 35-40 people, and there was people there from Mexico, Canada, a couple of lads from England came out, and then we had people from New York, Chicago, all over America. It's just mind-blowing. That's
brilliant. That's really good that it's going so well. So it's still quite new as well, so it's only going to grow, mate. That's fantastic.
Thanks.
No, it's great stuff you're doing over there, mate. Glenn, anything else you want to touch on at all, or shall I let you go and enjoy the sunshine? I'm assuming it's nice and warm over there.
It's actually pretty chilly this morning, but the sun just come out. It's 11:30, so I think it's going to warm up. So, but I'm actually going to go and record our Boxing Life podcast this afternoon at the gym. So
excellent.
I'm going to go and get that done.
Good.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Craig. Really appreciate it.
No, it was a pleasure, mate. It was really good to talk to you, and we'll certainly catch up with you again at some point in the future. And if you guys need any Scottish people to come over and clean the gym on a work permit, you just let me know and I'll be there, mate. I'll be there. Listen, this is Glenn Holmes from Box and Burn Academy in LA, Boxing Life podcast. We'll get you all the links hooked up, doing some fantastic stuff. Thanks again for your time, mate.
Alright, thanks, Craig. Speak soon.
Cheers, mate.